Life as We Know It with Tom Walton.
I usually don't put much stock in comments about how wonderful life was back in the good old days. The truth is that we tend to remember the good stuff and conveniently cast aside memories of the bad stuff. In the process, we romanticize our childhoods, perhaps beyond what they deserve. Having said that, I continue to marvel at news reports from 100 years or so ago in the farming communities down in Wyandotte County. Wyandotte County, for the geographically challenged, is about 60 miles south of Toledo. Upper Sandusky is the county seat. Every once in a while, I get a newsletter from the Historical Society there, and it never fails to offer nuggets of news you just don't see in the newspapers anymore. Here are a couple from the Sycamore Leader newspaper way back in 1932, and both involved dogs. The doggiest funeral service ever held in Tiffin happened last week, when Frank Callahan spent $1,000 to properly pay his respects to his pet Pomeranian that had been his traveling companion for the past 11 years. The dog was embalmed, and a special bronze casket with a metal liner and plate glass was provided. Sounds to me like that dog lived a charmed life and a charmed death. The second story related, and I'm quoting, that, quote, a harpster drunk, his dog, the sheriff, and a deputy all did the Jonah and the whale stunt, the dog starting it. When the drunk landed in jail, the dog's stomach rebelled, and the sheriff's auto was quite a sight. This was too much for the sheriff's stomach. The deputy chuckled at the mess, but not for long. His stomach soon rebelled, and soon after the drunk followed suit. Small hope for the 18th Amendment when one jag can accomplish so much, end of quote. Well, you may recall your history teacher explaining that the 18th Amendment to the United States Constitution enacted a prohibition against alcohol. If the god-awful mess in the sheriff's cruiser back in 1932 is any indication, it's no wonder that prohibition was repealed in 1933 as a total waste of time. Ready for a story from the Cary, Ohio Times from December 1920? A Cary man robbed a local restaurant at gunpoint and made off with all the cash in the register, the diners offering no resistance. He was quickly arrested out on the street by a policeman who marched him back into the restaurant and made him give back the money. Then the officer hauled the miscreant off to jail. Only then did the perpetrator and the officer disclose that the whole thing was a joke. Do you think in today's concealed carry society that a joke like that would strike anyone as funny? Somebody would be dead, that's for sure. Finally, there's this report from the Upper Sandusky Daily Chief in June 1899, and I'm quoting the story. Quote, a monster black snake was killed on a Salem Township farm Thursday. The reptile measured nearly 7 feet in length and was big around as a man's arm. The snake showed fight, and it was with considerable difficulty and much danger that the odious monster was finally dispatched. They brought the snake into town and placed it on exhibition, but even in death it was ugly enough to strike fear in the breasts of big, strong men. End of quote. Well, it might be 2018 now, but I suspect that a monster that odious would have the same effect on big, strong men today. Yeah, the good old days. Those were some great times.
Life as We Know It is written and hosted by Tom Walton and is a production of WGTE Public Media. Life as We Know It with Tom Walton can be heard on WGTE FM 91 every Monday afternoon during All Things Considered at 5:44 p.m. or hear past episodes at wgte.org/life.